All right, hello everyone. Welcome to the inaugural episode of my YouTube channel, which is TreeTraveler Treeside Chats. My name is Rachel, and I'm the Tree Traveler, and I have the privilege of chatting with folks that have all kinds of things to do with trees. So some of them work with trees, some just love trees, some spend a lot of time out walking into trees, some people do art about trees and forests. And this is really about the people. I feel like I get to know the best people, and so you can watch these sessions and then you'll get to know the best people also. And today we are at the beautiful Penn State Arboretum, which is a fantastic place to visit if you ever get a chance. And I'm here with my friend Linda, and I'm so thankful, Linda, that you agreed to sit down with me and just have a little chat and learn about you and about a few other things. And also this YouTube channel, assuming any money comes out of this, a portion of that will be going to the James C. Finley Center for Private Forests at Penn State. And Linda is the current chair of their advisory council. Linda is one of the people that I admire so much and just enjoy spending time with. So Linda, I just want to ask you a few questions and get your thoughts. And since this channel is going to be working with the Finley Center for its charitable donations, maybe you could tell folks about the Finley Center. What's the mission and kind of, the heart of the center?
Okay, thank you. First of all, Rachel, thank you so much for asking me to be part of this. And the Arboretum is beautiful, but there are also some bugs flying around. So.
And some chipmunks around. Yeah.
All good. I am honored to be currently the chair of the Finley Center Advisory Council. The Finley Center was created and started in 2011 with the blessing of the College of Ag and the university. It was a collaborative effort through my late husband Jim and his colleague Dr. Allison Muth. A large part of Jim's research during his career had to do with the private sector, the private forest landowners, because that is who owns the resource in Pennsylvania. So it's really, really important to know, who those folks are, why they want to own a piece of Penn's woods, and what they think about it, what their feelings are as far as, is this something that's important or not important, or, oh, it's just a bunch of trees and they happen to be on this piece of property that I own, The mission of the center, and again, this is coming from a focus in Jim's career and also Allison's career, working at the intersection of people and the resource. Our forests are vital in every single way, and they have to be cared for, or another term, they have to be managed, and that has to take place because of us. If we weren't here, they would be perfectly fine on their own. Mother Nature or whoever, whatever supreme being that you or label you want to put on it, would be taking care of themselves. But we are an impact, and we can be a negative impact or we can be a positive impact. And the center is trying and working towards getting more and more people to understand that we can have a positive impact, and that positive impact is extremely important.
Awesome. Yeah, super exciting work, and I love that focus on people. And I know Dr. Finley, who the center is named after, your late husband was a person that was for people.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I know you are a person that's for people also. And I guess I hope that this channel is also something for people and getting to know people and kind of bringing that people aspect, you know, and putting something good out in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the center started out being the Center for Private Forest. And after Jim passed, the College of Ag and the university saw fit to rename it in his honor. And to me, it showed a great deal of respect for him as an individual and what he was all about and what he did. But I also hope that part of that was also their realization of how important the mission of the center is and how important it is for that collaboration to continue. That working at the intersection of the resource and the people is vital.
And so I'm curious, like as a landowner yourself, what your perspective is. Like, you know, you own land. What's your personal connection with the land?
Okay, so I am extremely fortunate and blessed to be able to own a little piece of Penn's Woods. I didn't start out thinking that, oh, gee, I want to own a piece of the woods, you know. It just worked out that way. And being a new forest landowner, again, you know, my head wasn't in the place where, oh, okay, I need to be taking care of this. I need to be managing it. It was like, oh, I love these trees. I love walking through the woods and seeing the wildlife and seeing the change of seasons take place and all that sort of thing. But, you know, all of a sudden I'm finding out that, okay, there's more to it than this. And if I'm not paying attention, I'm not going to wind up with sustaining this piece of property and keeping it as a piece of Penn's Woods.
Right. And so how did you first come to that realization? Was that through either meeting Jim or somebody else, or was it a realization maybe you came to on your own?
Interesting story. So actually, my first husband and I bought the piece of property because it was a place where we went to hunt. And there were 3 elderly gentlemen that owned this piece of property, and they were all, you know, in their later 80s, and they decided, you know, it was time to sell the property. My husband had gone, I had never been to the property. My husband went hunting, came home one year and said, the property's going up for sale and I think we should buy it. So being the cooperative wife that I was, I said, oh, okay, fine. You know, so we buy this piece of property. And, you know, it was exciting to have this, you know, and within a very short time after we bought it, we were approached by an individual telling us that, you know, we had trees on the property that needed to be cut. Okay? So we're like, no, you know, that is not, you know, what we want to do. And we kept refusing. And finally, you know, it sounded like he was saying the right thing. It sounded like, you know,
right.
Okay, this is what you need to do because you know, you're taking care of this. So we said yes, and it was a disaster. And we came to the realization that we needed help and we needed to find out, you know, what really should be done and what shouldn't be done.
Can I ask you, in what way was it a disaster?
At the time, we lived 3.5 hours from the property. But there were 2 structures on the property, and in one of them, there was a young couple that was living. They were living there when we bought the property, and, you know, we were fine with that. And we got a call and said, you know, there's lumber trucks going out of here. One's going, you know, north, one's going south, you know. I walked down over the hill and there's trees just laying all over the place, and there's huge ruts, and of course this property was logged years and years ago, but and there were some old logging trails, and they were using the old logging trails, but they were just tearing them up. And so we immediately got on the phone and said, we don't know what's going on. Whatever you're doing, stop immediately. When we were able to get there, again, I mean, we were just heartbroken. And later found out that there were approximately 13 loads of timber taken off the property in a very short period of time. Where they were cutting was just looked like a disaster area, and came to realize that they were cutting down, apparently they were trying to get to the black cherry, which there was black cherry on the property.
Okay.
And apparently they were cutting down other trees to get to the trees that they wanted, with no intentions of taking the trees that they cut to get to what they wanted. The company that did it went bankrupt, so there was absolutely no no financial gain whatsoever. Okay. So, like I said before, we thought, you know, we have no clue what we're doing here. We need to find out. We discovered that there was an association called the Pennsylvania Forestry Association. Through them, we discovered that we had a service forester. Didn't know that, of course. And also, you know, was able to get a list of consulting foresters, because we found out, we started going to anything that had to do with forestry. We would try to get there because we were trying to figure out, you know, what should happen. So we found out there was this profession called consulting foresters, which was fantastic. And so we got several names in the area that the property was in. We did several interviews, and we wound up hiring a consulting forester, but became involved with PFA. Because of that, my husband was asked to serve on the board, which he did, and he only lived 6 years after we bought the property. And I was going to all these things, and I was listening, but I was kind of letting it be his thing, and I was just trying to be supportive in the background. And all of a sudden, I wind up with this piece of property, and in that short period of time, it became something very special to me. And the good thing was that in that short period of time, and with that connection with PFA, I got to know other forest landowners, other professionals in a wide range of entities, you know. And I thought, okay, well, I really want to try to hold on to this property. And if I stay involved with PFA, I at least have a resource, and I feel very comfortable asking for advice from these people, because they're only looking to help me. I mean, there's no gain, there's no financial gain, you know, connected to anything that they would share with me or advise me on or whatever. So I did, and my husband had recently been elected to the board as a private forest landowner, and they came to me and asked me if I would complete his term. And again, you know, I'm like, I have no clue what I'm doing. Absolutely none, you know. But, you know, some very kind people, or maybe desperate people for
Right,
person, I don't know,
yeah.
encouraged me to stay involved. And I'm very, very grateful that I did. And it's been a learning process since.
Yeah. That's so amazing because, you know, for those of you who don't know Linda has become like this, just such a pillar of the whole community and of the Pennsylvania Forestry Association. I feel like what we just heard was like your origin story.
Yeah,
you know,
my
some of
origin story,
your
yeah.
superhero origin story, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really wild.
And then through PFA, I met Jim.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So several years after my first husband had passed away, I was, of course, going to an annual meeting of Pennsylvania Forestry Association, and we were introduced at that meeting. And what was interesting or funny or whatever, I knew all these people that he worked with, that, you know, his colleagues, his associates, you know, all these. I knew all these people, but I had never met him. And he happened to be, he was the PFA member and had been, you know, for years. And he happened to be at that meeting to give a presentation, and we were introduced. And 6 years after that, I wound up being the wife of a forester. So,
yeah, that's really amazing.
yeah. So what started out as, oh, isn't this great? I have a piece of Penn's woods, turned into a 24/7
right
exposure to a profession.
Yeah, yes. And then just also to being just such a wonderful part of the forest community here, and also even beyond Pennsylvania. I know you've served on a number of national boards, and you've won several awards, and I don't know, you're just a person that I admire so much.
Thank you, Rachel. I appreciate that. Thank you.
So everyone that speaks with me on this little YouTube channel gets an exclusive sticker.
Great.
So this sticker says TreeTraveler Mutual Admiration Society. So
thank you so much.
You're,
thank you.
The first of hopefully many to get one. So and thank you so much for being willing to be a part of this, and for sharing your origin story, and just thank you also for just being so wonderful and for sharing so much with the forestry community. I appreciate it. I know I'm not the only one, so thank you so much for everything that you've done.
You're welcome, Rachel. It's people like you that have kept me involved. I really, you know, when somebody walks into a whole different perspective or profession or whatever, and to be welcomed, you know, yeah, the forestry community is extremely welcoming.
Yeah, it really is.
It is.
Yeah, I always feel fortunate, like I say, I just know so many awesome people, and feel very fortunate. So thanks everyone for tuning in and listening. We hope you enjoyed this. So feel free to put comments down below, and also, you know, if you liked it, subscribe. There will be some more videos coming out, and then also, if you feel so moved, you could support this little channel on Patreon, and that, in addition to hopefully helping the Center for Private Forests, it'll also help me and my family buy things like toilet paper, which is a forest product.
Absolutely. From a renewable resource.
That's right. All right. Thanks so much.